Hello, you guys, and thank you all for tuning in to Chris Codes. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to. And it's free. Notification bells will be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into the video. All right, guys, so I'm back with another Foolishness Friday. So this video is going to be about a young lady that's currently, I guess you could say, on trial. I don't know if she's been sentenced or whatever, whatever the case may be, but I know she's on trial. So I'm going to let you all watch this clip and we are going to talk about it. We're really going to get into it because I have a lot of probably unpopular opinions as usual to a specific thing in regards to this case. So let's go ahead and watch this clip and we'll get right into my thoughts.
Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Brianna Alvelo.
At 22 years old, Brianna Alvelo could spend the rest of her life behind bars. She's accused of making a pizza delivery turn violent.
State believes that this is a punishable by life offense. There should be no bond set, and it should not be set for a pretrial detention hearing.
Osceola County Sheriff's Office says on Sunday evening, someone staying at the Rivera Motel in Kissimmee ordered pizza. Detectives claim Alvelo delivered the pizza to the person, but she was not happy with her tip.
I do find that there is probable cause.
Investigators say Alvelo came back to the motel room, this time with a man who had a gun. They say the two of them forced their way into the room, and then Alvelo used a knife to stab the victim several times.
And I've never heard of nothing like that. I have 3 kids, but it's good to know because I'll always be aware.
The woman is also accused of stealing things from the room. She is facing charges of home invasion, attempted murder, kidnapping, and aggravated assault.
That goes to show you don't trust nobody, no matter where they are.
Deputies are looking for the armed man who was with Alvelo.
Those do remain in place.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank you, Ms. Alvelo.
All right, you guys, so you all saw that clip, and 14 times, we really about to get into it, okay? We're gonna get into this topic and y'all gonna have to hear me rant because it's just not adding up to me. It's not making sense to me. As you can see, I'm feeling better. My throat isn't as scratchy. I don't know if you all saw Lovely T did a video about the fog. I don't know if you all seen a whole lot of fog. I got a story about the flight I just got back from, well, the trip I just got back from, how we couldn't land because of the fog. We had to divert all that. And I wonder if that had anything to do with me being sick. But anyways, y'all know I'm into conspiracy theories. So maybe I'll do a video on that. But if you all haven't watched it, go watch Lovely T's video on the fog. But anyways, let's get back into the topic. So she done did this to this lady 14 times over a $2 tip. Now, I don't knock no one's hustle. You want to deliver pizza, you want to be a waitress or whatever the case may be. You don't know how God will use you in these areas, these fields. You don't know. You know, I've been to a restaurant and the waitress was so nice, waiter was so nice, and just to uplift your spirits. You don't know. You know, I don't knock anybody's hustle. I've done DoorDash, Uber Eats, Uber, all that jazz. If you gonna get it, get it. Faith without works is dead. Okay. So it's like whatever stepping stone you need to get you to where you need to be, do that as long as it doesn't compromise your integrity, you know? You get what I mean by that. But the thing is, I see posts on Facebook and all that jazz about people complaining about their tips and all that. And I feel like the beginning, we're going to get to her. We're going to get to her, okay? But let's start from the root of it. These companies need to start paying these people a livable wage. That's what it boils down to. They need to start paying these people a livable wage. I don't like, if I want to sit down and eat or whatever the case may be, I understand that my waitress has to go. She has to get the food. She has to take my order, all that jazz. I see the need in a tip. Now, I do tip for takeout orders and things of that nature. That's a custom for, the USA. We tip. In other countries and whatnot, they don't. They frown upon it. I used to work in Rhode Island at a resort. I love that job, by the way. And it was a 5-star resort. Like, I think it was 3 5 stars, because it was like restaurant, spa, and something else, but it was all 5 stars. It's not that many places in the world that has that type of rating, and they frowned upon tips. We were not allowed to accept them. The only places where it could somewhat be accepted was, I think, the restaurant, and I know the spa. And even so, the people that would come to the spa, they had to press, because we'd be like, no, no, no. And when I say press, I mean press. We would have to say no, 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 no. And they had to push. And then we had to go get a manager, and they had to speak to a manager just to tip us. And I've gotten a few tips this way when I was working at this spa. And I'm not going to say their name or whatever. But yeah, like, it was frowned upon. And I can see it, because at the end of the day, it's your job. So it's like these companies need to pay these people. You like, in a customer's perspective, it's like, okay, I'm paying for the food, I'm paying a delivery fee, and then I gotta tip the person that delivers it. And some people may not have it. We know the economy we're living in. Like, dang. Like, what more do you want from me?
What more do you want from me?
It's like, at the end of the day, we get that, these areas, these fields, they thrive off tips, but the companies need to pay what they owe.
You need to pay what you owe.
Okay? And when it comes down to this young lady, it's just like, okay, you crash out over $2 tip, but did you think that you were, did you think about the fact that you were delivering to what looks to me like a motel? So this lady's at a motel, okay? Look. Okay, look. I'm not saying, she didn't have it like that, but nobody just says, oh, I'm just going to stay in a motel just because, sometimes I guess it's just like when you're super money conscious or whatever the case may be, you're like, you know what? I'm not going to be at the motel or the hotel as much. I'm going to be out and about, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you got it, you're not going to just be voluntarily staying at a motel, especially pregnant. So the fact that she tipped you in the first place, you weren't grateful for that. You weren't considerate. You weren't understanding. Like, okay, this lady probably has a lot of bills coming. You know how expensive a baby is? Google it. Google it. You know how expensive a child is? And if she's staying in a motel, I don't know if she was traveling, I don't know, or if she was living there, because they have those motels that will keep you for months, where you can pay for a month at a time, and so on and so forth. You don't know these people's situations. So you're like, oh, she gave me a $2 tip. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cut her up. Like, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? And it's like, how sad is that this lady, pregnant, who knows what she was going through, I'm guessing she was in the room by herself. And she decides to order pizza. Who knows if she had a car or not. She decides to order pizza. She thought enough of you to at least give you something. And you took it upon yourself to go back with some guy who was armed and gut her like a fish. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, this world has gotten so selfish, so heartless. And it's just like we have such a hard time seeing past our issues, our problems, that we can't see from someone else's perspective. If you were so, hurt over a $2 tip, you know what I mean? If you had such an issue that she only tipped you $2, which means you must have been in some type of bind, you must have been struggling financially to even be so bothered by that. You can't fathom someone being in that same situation. When you go through things, people don't see why they go through things. They go through things and God brings them out of those things, and they don't see, the brighter side of it. They don't learn anything from that. I've talked about, I know I'm getting serious, but it's so serious. Like, y'all, like, it's so very serious that people will go through things over and over and over again, and you don't see why you're going through those things. You don't see the brighter side of those things. Like, you'll hear testimonies of people, God brought me out of this and God brought me out of that, but you didn't learn anything from it. So you continue to go through these issues. You were so frustrated financially that you felt the need to go back to this lady's motel room and gut her because you were in a financial bind. You had such financial issues that was bubbling up in you, to the fact that you had so much rage and so much anger in you that it caused you to do this. And how much do you want to bet that she's been through these same financial situations, these same similar situations over and over and over again, to the point that she got to this? Like I said in several different videos, it's levels to it. It's levels to anger. It's levels to lust. It's levels to greed. It's levels to everything. And if you continue to go through these lessons over and over and over again, and you do not understand what makes you tick, what makes you pop, or what you need to learn from these lessons, you continue to go through these lessons, and you can either come out victorious, or you can come out like this young lady, on trial for the world to see as you a violent, evil human being. Do I think this lady is like this? I don't know, because of what media has showed me. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're going to be viewed to the world. But who knows what she's gone through. But this is a prime example of why I do Foolishness Fridays, for you to learn from other people's mistakes. It's like, if you continue to go through these things and you don't learn anything from it, you don't take anything from it, you're going to continue to go through these things, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. This lady gave you $2. If she gave you $5, would you went back? You know what I'm saying? Her life was worth $3 to you. How much did you expect from a pizza tip? 2, 3, 5, 10? If she got one pizza, what, $20? What's the average tip on a $20 pizza? $5? Was her life worth $3 to you? Do you see how Do you see how crazy that sounds? So what in her mind would make her feel like it was necessary to go back to this lady's room and gut her like that? We don't ask ourselves these questions. We don't think like what would provoke people to get to this point. People don't just wake up crazy. Like, they go through things. It's experiences. And you could be just like this woman if you don't wake up. Like, wake up. Life is so much more than glitz and glam. And I want to take this trip. I want to buy this bag. I want to do this. I want to do that. Life is so much more than that. How many times have you seen a post where, they're gone too soon, or they're this and they're that, and you know, you're mourning someone, and have you taken the time to like look back at your life like, dang, what have I accomplished? Like, do you think we're just here just to pay bills, just to go to work, come back, you know, our little daily routine? Do you think that's all your life is worth? I've had issues in my life. I've had problems in my life. I've had times where I'm just like, you know, I'm just so frustrated. And the thing is, a lot of those times, those peak times in my life, it seems like I've had like some type of awakening, like something that told me, some little voice that's told me like, look, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing that, or so on and so forth, or pushing me to go down a certain path. Like, we take our lives for granted. This lady threw her life away because of a $2 tip on a pizza. You know, like, I know I get goofy, but I get serious, because it's just like, it's a reason these things be happening. And it's like, we have to look at these things and examine our lives and see, you're no better than this lady. You're no better than the homeless person underneath the bridge in downtown Atlanta. They've gone through similar situations as you. They've been through similar instances where they were like, you know, had a choice to make. We all have a choice to make. We all have a purpose. We all have a mission in life. And if your mission is to get paid, you know, YOLO, there's nothing governing you. There's no limitations. You just want to get it by any means necessary. You want to take it by any means necessary. And I value those situations that brought me to a point where I'm just like, okay, my life is not my own. And it's a reason that I'm here. And if I've gone through heartbreak, if I've gone through issues financially, spiritually, emotionally, it's a reason I've gone through those things. And it's a purpose for my life. And you learn from it, you grow from it, and you move on. But when you stay stuck in those moments and you let those moments define you, somebody did you this way, so you're going to do this. Somebody treats you this way, so you're going to treat people that way. You are now intertwined with the mess. You've now made an episode on Foolishness Friday. You know? Take it upon yourself to think higher. Think of yourself as more than just a number. Value yourself. And realize that a $2 tip doesn't define you. The way someone views you or thinks of you doesn't define you. The way you view and think of yourself defines you. The way you treat other people, regardless of how they treat you, is what defines you. People not Christianity, but it's time for people to know, to fear something, because they do whatever they want because they don't fear anything. You need to fear something, okay? Be governed by something. Otherwise, you end up doing whatever you want to do. And if you're going to be under the jail, hey, that'll make my mission easier. Y'all better get it together, okay? And I gotta go. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to. And it's free. Notification bells to be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you all for the next video. Bye.